Yesterday 7:11 p.m. Updated yesterday 10:35 p.m. Scroll staff share tweet email Reddit print share tweet email Reddit print FIFA World Cup by Scroll staff published yesterday 7:11 p.m. Updated yesterday 10:35 p.m. Reuters 26, Carlos Vela penalty, Mexico, 66, Javier Hernandez, Mexico, 93, Son Heung-min, South Korea, Red Group F preview here. That's all from us. Head over to the last game of the day, where Germany take on Sweden in a match that sees the national Mannschaft under immense pressure after that opening day loss. Jogi Löw has made 4 changes, including Marco Reus and dropping Mesut Ozil. You can follow it all here. South Korea had more shots, 17 to Mexico's 13, but only 6 of those were on target. Their passing improved in the second half, but they didn't do enough to unsettle Ochoa and his defense. FT, 2-1 Mexico. Truth be told, Mexico weren't as sharp as they were against Germany, but South Korea's inability to break the defense down meant that Chica, Lyon, Lozano and co. didn't have to stretch themselves to beat the Asians. Son was their only outlet, but he was expertly marshaled for the first 93 minutes. FIFA World Cup trophy. At FIFA World Cup, June 23, 2018 full-time, and it ends 2-1 to Mexico. Carlos Vela and Chicarito on target for El Tri, while Son Heung-min reduced the deficit for South Korea with a superb injury time strike. Mexico are virtually through while South Korea are on the verge on progression to the round of 16. 93, GOAAALL. Son scores, 2-1 Mexico. The South Korean has toiled, and finally he has his reward, as a left-footed hit goes in beyond Ochoa. 88, Son takes a shot, but it goes over. 2-0 Mexico. The number 7 has tried and tried, but it hasn't been his day. He looks tired after a long season and his World Cup hopes are fast fading. 85, substitution for Korea as Kim Min-woo goes off. 2-0 Mexico. Did all of you watching at home wonder why the Korean left-back saluted on being substituted? That is because the 28-year-old is currently doing his mandatory military service. 81, South Korea attack but are thwarted. 2-0 Mexico. The Asians attack down the left, but Alvarez is solid and keeps the Korean attacker out. Shin Tae-yong can't bear to watch his team struggle. Meanwhile, Javier Hernandez became the first Mexican to reach 50 international goals. This Mexican defense wall is the real deal. Already paid for. Mr. President, take note. 2-0 Mexico. Rafa Marquez, with a terrible back pass, puts Ochoa in trouble, but the Mexican goaltender is brave and he keeps their goal safe. The outstanding Carlos Vela is replaced by Giovanni Dos Santos. 72, booking for South Korea. 2-0 Mexico. Lee Sung-woo hacks down Miguel Ayun, and the former Barcelona attacker, a 20-year-old now at Verona, is booked. 68, substitution for Mexico as they lead 2-0. Rafael Marquez comes on and takes the armband as Andres Guardado's 150th international appearance comes to an end. Lozano is replaced by Jesus Corona, who gives Chucky a cheers before substituting him. Mexico's record goal scorer looks happy. 65, Chicarito scores, 2-0 Mexico. Mexico break at pace as Javier Hernandez receives the ball, cuts in and shoots it beyond Ju. That's his 50th goal for Mexico. 62, Vela curves a shot beyond the keeper, 1-0 Mexico. Carlos Vela cuts in from the right, takes a touch and curls one with his left foot. Joe watches it go above the bar as the score remains the same. 59, Chucky's through but his shot is blocked, 1-0 Mexico. Lozano breaks from the right, and controls the ball superbly but keys there with an equally good last-ditch block to deny the Mexican number 22. 57, Key drills a shot directly at Ochoa, 1-0 Mexico. The Swansea midfielder takes a shot from the left but it is straight at the Mexican goalkeeper. Ochoa was a busy man against Germany, making 9 saves in the opener. 52. South Korea have a shot but it's blocked. 1-0 Mexico. Wang slips it in for Moon Seon-min, who shoots but it is blocked by a Mexican player for a corner. They take it short, but the execution is poor. Not the first they've tried to break down Mexico intricately and failed. Are you good at math? Are you good at math? These Fox Sports commentators open-mouth smile. 1-0 Mexico. The left-sided attacker has been described as the most exciting player in this South Korean lineup, Sun included. The 22-year-old helped Red Bull Salzburg to the Europa League semi-finals and is being tracked by Spurs, Liverpool and a host of other major European sides. 46. We have kickoff in the second half. 1-0 Mexico. Son Heung-min is pushed forward to play as a second striker. South Korea-Mexico could very well be the Los Angeles Derby. 66% passing accuracy for South Korea as they've preferred the Route 1 stuff. Mexico have completed 88% of their passes but only a quarter of their shots, 2, have been on target. Key stats, right finger. Including penalty shootouts. The East Asians can have no complaints about that. Halftime and the Mexicans on their way to a fairly comfortable victory. 1-0 Carlos Vela's penalty gave El Tri the lead, but South Korea's best hope has to been to hand the ball to Son Heung-min. The number 7's direct running has given the opposition center-backs Salcedo and Moreno some headaches, but they have dealt with him well. 45. Son earns another corner. South Korea trail 1-0. The Korean number 7 wins a set piece but his team wasted. Huge pressure on him to win a major tournament or he goes off to compulsory military service. 43. Chucky breaks but blazes over. 1-0 Mexico. Chucky Lozano makes this look like child's play as he parts open the South Korean defense. The finish leaves much to be desired as he hammers it into orbit. 37. South Korea have a sustained spell of possession. 1-0 Mexico. This possession game could actually hurt Korea. While they keep the ball well, they tend to turn the ball over in the final third, springing Mexican breaks, essentially playing into El Tri coach Juan Carlos Osario's hands. Is it too late to strip Russia of the World Cup? They seem to be showing qualifying for the Formula One instead of South Korea v Mexico. Jonathan Wilson, at Jonah Wills, June 23, 2018. 31. Sun's free kick goes way over the bar. 1-0 Mexico. The South Korean scored 7 times in qualifying, but he is yet to open his account in Russia. Meanwhile, Carlos Vela's penalty was the 14th of this VAR-infused World Cup, more than the total at the 2014 World Cup. 13. Ochoa looks content with the current state of the match. 28. Layun drives it towards goal. 1-0 Mexico. That goal seems to have rocked South Korea's confidence as the Mexican number 7 takes a shot from distance, but Joe is equal to the task. He gratefully clutches the resulting corner. Ridiculous pen given against. 1-0, some time wasting by the Korean goalie, but that does not put Vela off as he sends Joe the wrong way. The Asians were penalized for Jang Yeon-so's handling of the ball inside the box. 24. Penalty. 0-0 South Korea are penalized for a handball inside the box. 22. Sun threatens Mexico on the counter. 0-0, a long, roving ball downfield caught both Mexican center-backs by surprise as Sun raced clear. Salcedo and Moreno block the Spurs man. Ki Sung-yun makes Ochoa save the resulting corner. 19. Salcedo brings down Son Heung-min, who must do better today. His country's hopes rest on the Tottenham man, and so do coach Shin Tae-yang's. 0-0. Lozano, like a true hero, just sacrificed his whole life to save that ball from hitting the net. That attack looked dangerous as the Taeguk Warrior broke down Mexico's right, but they were able to keep the Group F underdogs at bay. 0-0. 11 feet. South Korea has now committed 7 fouls on Mexico. The Korean captain is not booked for it, but he's given a talk by the referee. 0-0, 4. Miguel Ayun has a free kick, but South Korea clear it easily. 0-0, 1. We have kickoff in Rostov. Mexico in white while South Korea line up in red. 8:25 p.m. South Korea have only 2 wins outside their country in the last 2 years. But they did defeat Mexico 1-0 in the Olympic football tournament a couple of years ago. The coach on that occasion was the senior men's current head coach, Shin Tae-yang. The teams are in line for the national anthem. We are barely 5 minutes away from kickoff. 8:20 p.m. Captain Ki Sung-young makes his 104th appearance for the national team. That makes him South Korea's 6th highest capped player ever. This Mexican grandmother really wanted her team to win. 8:10 p.m. One of the best stories to emerge out of this World Cup has been the story of Javi, who couldn't make it to the World Cup. His friends ensured that he was there with them in cardboard form. Javier told us, "My wife won't let me come, and so he couldn't join us, but we decided to bring him along without her permission. The truth is he is having an awesome time," the group posted on their Facebook page. Truly, a cutout above the rest. 8 p.m. Ted Mosby look-alike Guillermo Ochoa and the defense will look to extend South Korea's winless streak to 7 games, including 2 draws and 5 losses. The East Asians' last win came against Greece in 2010, when they won 2-0. 7:50 p.m. Mexico have won all 3 of their World Cup matches against Asian opposition, including a 3-1 win over today's opponents in 1998. South Korea have faced North American opposition twice, drawing 1-1 against the USA in 2002. 7:40 p.m. More on Korea's keeper Jo Hyun-woo, who was a surprise inclusion and only had 6 caps to his name prior to his encouraging display against Sweden. Jo, though, wasn't satisfied with the result. "I can't even count the moments that I should have done better when I look back now. This is a disappointing result for me. But I'll have to be ready for a chance to come in the next games." Daegu FC's number 1 is nicknamed De Gea, due to the similarities with Spain's leading goalkeeper, and was awarded the best goalkeeper for the K-League 2 in 2015 and 2016, before winning the same for K-League 1 in 2017. A call-up for South Korea's number 23 was just the latest chapter in his meteoric rise. 7:30 p.m. South Korea expectedly make 3 changes as Kim Min-woo, Ju Sejong and Kim Young-kwon come in for Park Ju-ho, Kim Shin-wook and Koo Ya-chol go out. 7:15 p.m. Mexico's 11 has been declared and no surprises here, as Hector Ayala is replaced by Edson Alvarez. Lozano starts, as does Javier Hernandez, who starts up top for them. El Tri were superb in their 1-0 victory, and none more so than Irving Lozano. The 22-year-old winger is expected to start today after his goal-scoring exploits in the opener. Read a recap of Germany vs Mexico here. Welcome to the live blog of South Korea vs Mexico, the second match for both of these sides in Group F. Mexico, quite famously, beat the holders Germany 1-0 in a pulsating contest where they were clearly the better team on the day. South Korea need to pick themselves up after a tame display in a 0-1 loss to Sweden. Their goalkeeper was kept busy and was the one that kept the Asians in the match, a pattern which needs to change this afternoon in Rostov. Support our journalism by subscribing to Scroll here. We welcome your comments at letters@scroll.in. Sponsored content by published June 14, 2018, 11:39 a.m. Share tweet email Reddit print. Share tweet email Reddit print. Why do we love watching movies? The question might be elementary, but one that generates a range of responses. If you had to visualize the world of movies on a spectrum, it would reflect vivid shades of human emotions like inspiration, thrill, fantasy, adventure, love, motivation and empathy, generating a universal appeal bigger than of any other art form. I distinctly remember when I first watched Mission Impossible A. The scene where Tom Cruise suspends himself from a ventilator to steal a hard drive is probably the first time I saw special effects, stunts and suspense combined so brilliantly. Tristy, 30 beyond the vibe of a movie theater and the smell of fresh popcorn, there is a deeply personal relationship one creates with films. And with increased access to movies on television channels like the channel's tagline, "Leap Forth," is a nod to the exciting and inspiring role that English cinema plays in our lives. Comparable to the pizzazz of the movie premieres, the channel launched its logo and tagline through a big reveal on a billboard with Spider-Man in Mumbai, activated by 10,000 tweets from English movies buffs. Their impressive lineup of movies was also shown as part of the launch, enticing fans with new releases such as Spider-Man: Homecoming, Baby Driver, Blade Runner 2049, The Dark Tower, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle and Life. Edgar Wright is my favorite writer and director. I got interested in filmmaking because of Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead. I love his unique style of storytelling, especially in his latest movie Baby Driver. Sidant, 26. Indeed, movies can inspire us to leap forth in our lives. They give us an out-of-this-world experience by showing us fantasy worlds full of magic and wonder, while being relatable through stories of love, kindness and courage. These movies help us escape the sameness of our everyday lives, expanding our imagination and inspiring us in different ways. The movie world is a window to a universe that is full of people's imaginations and dreams. It's vast, vivid and populated with space creatures, superheroes, dragons, mutants and artificial intelligence, making us root for the impossible. Speaking of which, the American science fiction blockbuster, Ghost in the Shell will be premiering on the 24th of June at 1 p.m. and 9:00 p.m., only on. I relate a lot to Peter Parker. I identified with his shy, dorky nature as well as his loyalty towards his friends. With great power comes great responsibility is a killer line, one that I would remember for life. Of all the superheroes, I will always root for Spider-Man, a poor of 21. There are a whole lot of movies between the ones that leave a lasting impression and ones that take us through an exhilarating 2-hour-long ride. This wide range of movies is available on the exciting movies available on